Hey everyone, NWA Prepper here. Another one of my favorite YouTube videos is Viking Preparedness. Joe Fox, Pastor Joe Fox, PJ, he goes by many names, but Joe Fox and Viking Preparedness is a channel that I've been subscribed to for a very long time. It is a great channel that, well, it's just great. Viking Preparedness, when I first started watching it, was a very skills-based, get out, here's what this is, here's how we do this, go out and do it. It was great. I got a lot of desire to get knowledge from watching that channel. I still do. I still watch it all the time. This is another channel that has a Patreon channel that I support, Viking Preparedness. And so PJ did videos back then that at the time I'm like, man, how can you possibly make a video 13 or 14 minutes? Now since then, since I've been creating content, it's become much easier to understand why. His channel, he has a few channels. He has Viking Preparedness, and the another one is Shofar Mountain. That's his, as a pastor, that's his sermons and church things. And I've watched a few of those, particularly if he refers to him in his YouTubers Patreon videos. But I'm not gonna lie, for the most part, it's just been Viking Preparedness. So I watch his, and it's inspiring. And then this was been after several years of watching him, and actually after I'd met him, which I want to tell you the story in a minute, but then he started with these Viking challenges, where it was, okay, folks, this is what I want you to do. And it started really easy, really simple. And then we're a few into it because they take time to produce. They take time to think of. They take time to monitor. And so the challenges are hard. Even on my channel, it's hard for me to do. I can't imagine having 100,000 subscribers and doing it. And so the challenges were great. They really teed up my son and we had a great time. And I love his content. I learn from every video. If it's not a skill because I don't think I learn from a YouTube video very much, but I get inspired to gain the knowledge and practice the skills from a YouTube video. And so I got really, really pumped to go do a lot of things and to learn things, and it happens to me all the time when he does his videos. And so the time I got to meet him was wonderful. There was a preparedness fair, self-reliance fair, prepper fair. I don't remember what it was called. I want to say it was put on by R&K Shows, but I'm not certain. Doesn't matter. So he was giving a session or leading a session or a class, whatever you want to call it, at that event, as was I. And I had a table selling some of my preparedness items and an NRA booth, and so I had a lot going on. And I was sitting there with Cap Gun, who's on my channel sometimes. He's one of my great friends. And I was sitting there with I guess Bobo, I think, was actually the one actually sitting with me. And we're in a square booth, or the end of a row. And so I had all three sides of the end of the row. And Bobo was in front of me, and I had my back to the far table, but I could see the other tables. And we were talking, and I heard a voice that sounded so familiar to me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. In my head, I'm like, who is that? Who is that? And then I saw the guy come by, and I'm like, I know exactly who that is. The session hadn't started yet. This was the first day, or the first time that I'd even really known who all was speaking, because I'd been so focused on preparing for my presentation. And I went, oh my gosh, that's Joe Fox. And And then he stopped at my booth and he looked up and he says, "You look familiar." And he said, have we met before? And I said, "No, sir. I follow you on YouTube and I have a little channel." And he had watched one of my videos, not enough, enough to go, "Hey, I know that weird looking guy." And I was just tickled to death. It made my whole day. It makes my day today, and it's been years. And it was wonderful. And they shopped, and then I got to meet his wife, Sister Kate, who is a blessing to the earth. She's a wonderful lady. They're both great, and then my presentation was a little bit shorter, I guess, or a different time, and so I got to sit in on his as well. It was wonderful. I had bought a copy of his book, which I don't remember the title of. Holy cow. Family Preparedness. I apologize if he watches this ever. I apologize. I don't remember the name of the book, but it's a great book. And I bought it because I will buy a book from anyone I know that is an author, whether I'm interested or not. In this particular case, I was very interested. That was, my little niche. And so I bought the book and I asked them to sign it. And it's a very busy place, and he had people that had come from all over to see him. And they signed my book, and he signed it to the guy next to me. It was funny. So he's probably got Travis in his book, and I didn't care. It was wonderful. To me, it's the thought of them signing. So it was a great thing. And then I went home and I read it. It took me. I could have read it in one extended setting, but I chose to break it up. It's a very good book, a very easy read, wonderful points, great guidance. It's a great book. Amazon, I got mine from them. Barnes & Noble. I'll try to put a link down below where to get the book. It's a great book. And then as time grew, I'd watch the channel more, and then at another preparedness meet and greet, he and his wife were there as well, and it was wonderful. I got to sit across the table with him, and I kind of do a lot of listening and sitting back. Believe it or not, I don't always like to do all the talking. And so I sat there and I listened to him, and the conversation bounced from topic to topic, and I was just enamored. Because not only is he very insightful, but the gentleman that he was talking to is very knowledgeable. And between the two of them, I was enjoying. To me, it was a class, and so I was enjoying it. And it was a potluck, and we had great fellowship, and we had to move the meeting. It was great. A preparedness meeting had an emergency, and we had to go from one venue to another, and it was flawless. It was awesome. Anyway, so Viking Preparedness is a great channel. It's inspired me. It's inspired tens of thousands of people to be better prepared. And if for some reason you're into preparedness and you have never subscribed or watched Viking Preparedness, go to Patreon, type in Viking Preparedness, kick in and watch that channel. Watch his YouTube channels and binge watch them. Go all the way back to the beginning. Viking Preparedness is another channel that affects my life on a daily basis. It just does. God has put people in my path and channels in front of my eyes that inspire me. They make me want to be a better man, a better father, a better husband, a better prepper, and they make me want to be better. And his channel is definitely one that does that. Thanks for watching Viking Preparedness. Let's get ready.